We've been talking about a lot of serious things of late on this channel, and shout out to everyone who has subbed to this channel as of late. Particularly if you found me on one of O'Shea Duke Jackson's hangouts. Really appreciate that. But as far as this is concerned, the topic I'm about to talk about is going to be a bit more lighthearted. So I think a lot of you will appreciate that. And that is one question. For all the guys who are ardent supporters of prostituting or tricking, particularly overseas, I want to ask you guys this. How come you claim that the women are so better overseas, while at the same time feeling the need to go trick on them? I don't know how I'll word that in the final uploading of this video, but before I answer that question directly, I want to make my stance clear on prostitution. Now, overall, I am not one who practices it, nor has practiced it, nor personally feel the need to do so. But overall, I do support the decriminalization of solicitation, particularly sexual solicitation. And the reason why is this. Well, let's be quite frank. One, a lot of men are frustrated, and it comes out in particular ways in which society doesn't want to discuss. Two, the decriminalization at the very least, or better yet, the legalization of it, would kill a lot of industries that have hindered the relations between men and women, particularly the nightclub industries, a lot of these frou-frou dinner industries in which you're paying upwards of $30 for like a little 8-ounce steak like this, which you could have cooked on your own for an eighth of the price. Just other useless industries like the diamond industry, for goodness sakes. I mean, you think diamonds are that rare to the point in which you have to pay like $10,000 per like 24 karat? Really? For all of you who don't know about how ubiquitous diamonds are in Africa, go on ahead after this video and look it up on YouTube. The results you'll find will be astounding, to say the very least. And for all of you liberals out there, especially who are about the treatment of people, trust me, you will never want to get a diamond again. But my personal opinions about prostitution is that if you want to do it, that's fine. Who am I to stop you or even unconvince you to do so? But for me personally, I do not believe in partaking in it, mainly because of one, it's basically paying a woman to do something that men and women are supposed to do naturally, and two, it does fill the ego of a lot of women, a lot of people, and I'll talk about that a bit later, but it does fill the ego of a lot of women who are in the industry, regardless if they are being paid by the worst kind of men. In a way, it does give them a clouded head, because at the end of the day, they're the ones with this. Three, and the main reason why I don't practice prostitution myself is simple. I don't need it. I personally believe in the philosophy of self-improvement, of being the best you can be, on striving to join the elite, of being on your purpose. Shout out to AMS, Alpha Male Strategies. But there are a lot of men, particularly black men, who feel as if their only solace for sexual gratification is to go overseas. And in a way, it is disheartening to hear men saying, hey, look, man, I don't get play from these women, man, so I gotta go overseas and find some love. I mean, I don't want to do it here, but I'll do it overseas after paying thousands of dollars to fly to a foreign country and paying upwards of another $100 or few $100 to stay at a place And then on top of that, a few hundred to a couple $100 for living expenses, or maybe $100 if I'm lucky. But then, I got a trick on these women, man. I got a trick on these women. They can frame it or say it, phrase it as if they want to, or I want to trick it. If it ain't tricking, you got it. Like all these things, all this damage control language to make themselves feel better. And I want to remind you guys, this is not me penis patrolling. We are not the police. We do not tell men on this channel where to put their penises in, regardless of if they pay it or not, regardless of race, or even regardless of gender. I am not here to tell you as a man, and especially as a black man, where to go to for love and sensual pleasures. Because quite frankly, we have enough people here on this planet, particularly in America, who do a good enough job of that as is. Particularly the media, the alt-right, neo-Nazi, Richard Spencer wannabe douchebags, and the sisters. We can't forget about the sisters, and the Scraggle-Daggles, and Al-Qaeda hood rats, ISIS, bedwenches, all of them telling you and me where to put our penises in. So don't take this as me criticizing you, but I want to ask you guys this. If the women are so much better there than here, out overseas versus domestically, why do you feel the need to trick? It's as simple as that. Why do you feel the need to spend hundreds of thousands of more dollars on getting the love and the affection of women when these women are supposedly better? And what inspired me to do this was a combination of the video I saw, the O'Shea Duke hangout. I know I wasn't on it, so it wasn't as good as it could have been, but it was good nonetheless, in which several dudes were talking about the question of should you trick versus should you not trick. And Max City Limits, shout out to him. It's probably the first time I ever mentioned him directly on any of my videos, but he brought up a good point in which if you feel the need to trick, just stay your ass here. At the very least, go to somewhere in Nevada where it's legal, if you feel the need to do so. Some people will say, well, you're going to pay more, and they're egotistical as this, but at the end of the day, let's be honest, a lot of you guys don't care how you get it. You just want to get it in. And we have to admit that if for no other reason, prostitution in this country, or using the system of prostitution in the United States is a lot cheaper of an option than going overseas. And a lot of you guys will also say, well, it's the culture, and it's the women, it's the feeling you get, and because of the femininity, and all. Look, I get it. And I'm not disagreeing with you on those points. Women overseas are a lot more feminine. But it's for a reason. It's just like Max City said, during his duration in the military, he saw all sorts of Germans and Koreans, particularly those who stalked around the bases, the military bases. They were as feminine as any non-American woman could be. But at the end of the day, when their husbands were away, they, like most women in America, went out and played. And I think that's something that a lot of you guys still don't want to admit. There is a component of human nature, I'm not going to say female nature, that seeks constant sensual affirmation. And we have to admit that this is what makes us human. I hate to say it, but I get that a lot of men feel as if we're getting the crappier half of the stick in America, which we are. I'm not going to deny that. But if you feel the need to go overseas to find femininity, then and I'm not going to tell you to stop. The only reason why I will tell you to stop is it'll help you with your wallet. But if you're going there for the sole purpose of sexual tourism, then ask yourself, how better are the women really are in those parts of the country or parts of the world? Especially if you have to pay to get something that your grandfathers and great-grandfathers, our great-grandfathers, got for, I won't say free, but for doing what they were supposed to do, for doing what you're doing right now, you and I. Are they really that much better? I'm not saying women overseas aren't more feminine overall, but if it was me, if I had all the money in the world to fly overseas to the Dominican Republic and Brazil and all Southeast Asia, all these other countries, you know what I would do? I wouldn't just work, collect money, sit here, do nothing in America, and then go overseas just to live like a king for a week. I would be, and this is actually what I am doing, so I'm just going to give you guys some input on my personal philosophy and lifestyle. I aim to be the best that I can here, to get the most feminine woman possible here in America, so that when the time comes and I'm able to go overseas, to go to the country of my choice, I can just land on the soil, and all of a sudden women will flock to me. Whether it's because I'm American, whether it's because I have some sort of income, I stand out, whether it's because I'm black, or I guess when I'm overseas I'm mixed, which, you know what, in the future, if all goes according to plan, in the future, I'm going to really test out some theories on how this light skin, how far this will get me overseas. But that's way down the line. But as far as this prostitution thing is concerned, if you want feminine women, my suggestion throughout all this is to improve yourself, is to strive to join the elite. And yes, that's partially a plug for my videos on how to join the elite. You guys have been sleeping on those, and I'm disappointed, quite frankly. But also, if you don't want to hear my monotone voice, go on ahead and be on your purpose with AMS. Or go listen to any of the other red pill videos that are out here. Work on yourself. See if you can make it in America. Because if you can make it here, with all the rules against us, with the majority of women against us, if you can make it here, like the song goes, by Frank Sinatra, you can make it anywhere. And everyone else out there, always bet on X.